Let's go, family. Happy blessed Sunday. It's your boy Crazy Faith to God in the building, getting ready to drop some quick value for you guys today. Welcome to the Crazy Faith to God channel, right? Welcome to the channel. Welcome, right? Where we add nothing but value each and every single day, right? We add nothing but value each and every single day, enriching in your spirit, enriching in your lives each and every single day, right? So let's dive straight into this, right? So today's topic is going to be desires and emotions, right? Desires and emotions, right? And this is a good way to stay in control of yourself, right? So let's break down desires and emotions, right? So a little bit about desires and emotions. As we all know, desires and emotions are very, very powerful. If we're not aware of this, our desires and our emotions could be very powerful depending on what we want out of our desires and emotions. What are we aiming towards out of desires and emotions, right? So if you don't know, like, desires and emotions are driving forces, right? These are super powerful driving forces, right? And if you're not in control of your desires and emotions, what happens is your emotions mixed with your desires is like a strong driving force that can overtake your spirit, overtake the body, right? And causes you to do things that you're not happy with, right? And it kind of causes you to, you know, drift. It kind of causes you to run after things that doesn't profit, right? It kind of causes you to run after things that don't profit if you're not in control of your desires and your emotions. There's nothing wrong with desires and your emotions. It's what your desires and your emotions is directed towards. What kind of outcome are you trying to seek towards your desires and emotions? So you can have a desire and emotions for a lot of abundance of wealth, to be super, famous, to live a successful life. You could have a good desire for that, and combined with the emotions, that's a good driving force, in order to be wealthy, in order to become financially rich, right? That's fine. But when the desire and the emotions is planted in the negative, in the negative room, right? When it's going the opposite direction, such as, maybe lust. It could be going towards such as, partying, such as, wanting to do your own will, right? If you have a desire and your emotions is combined with that, and you want to do your own will, you want to, go after the flesh, and that could be very, that could hurt you, right? You can fall like that, right? You can get depleted like that, right? You can get depressed like that, right? You can there's just so much stuff that can happen where you're not even happy with the outcome that you're getting, because your desires and your emotions are fixed on the wrong thing, and it's guiding you and driving you in the wrong direction. And it could be painful if you're not aware of it. This could be very painful, and you could hurt yourself like that, right? So we got to make sure our emotions and desires are intact at all times, right? That goes for me too. I got to make sure my emotions and desires are intact and they're going in the right direction. I can't allow my desires and emotions to go in the wrong directions, because then I will be set up to go in that direction, which I don't even want, and it's a driving force. So it's like, if you're not aware of it, it can just guide you into that direction, right? It's a driving force. So if you're aware of our emotions and our desires, we can kind of channel that into where we want to go, right? We don't have to sit with it, right? We don't have to sit with it, right? We could channel our desires and our emotions to where we want to go in life, right? You don't have to just, settle for whatever it is that you're going through right now, right? You have the option to take control over your desires and your emotions. Once you start to take control over your desires and your emotions, then you stay in control, right? The moment that you're not in control of your desires and your emotions is where the enemy kind of like steps in and take controls and direct your day, direct your vision, direct your feelings on what you want out of life, right? And we got to be mindful that we cannot allow that to happen. Right? We cannot allow our emotions and desires to take over and to dictate our lives. And we want to be super mindful of that, right? And just know that you are in control. I want to give you full permission that you're in control over your emotion and your desires. And we just got to be super mindful of what we're putting our attention and our desires on, right? And that's it right there, right? So I want to leave you guys with this, right? If we don't start understanding what our emotions and desires are doing, it's actually setting up a driving force, right? If we're not aware of that, we could be led. We could have our emotions and our desires run our lives, so to speak, right? We could have our emotions and desires run our lives where we're not even in control of it, right? Where we're not even in control, but you have the opportunity today to take control of your desires and your emotions, right? That's that's most importantly. You have control to take over your desires and your emotions, right? I want to leave you guys with that and just take a few minutes to pray with you guys and ask that God could, help you to become more aware of your desires, your emotions, and what it's actually doing in your life, right? We want to be able to understand what it is that is doing in our lives, right? Excuse me. We want to understand what it is that it's doing in our lives, right? We want to understand what are these desires, what are these emotions actually doing, because it's setting us up to a driving force. It's like a driving force. It's either we're going to go in the right direction or the wrong direction. So we want to be super mindful of what we're placing our desires and emotions on to stay in control, to see the results that we want, so we can get further and further and further more success into life, right? So with that being said, it's your boy Crazy Faith the God. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Happy blessed Sunday. Let's get it. Let's become 1%. Let's go.